always said, a proper war banner has two roles, to direct and to inspire. In the chaos of battle, he'd say, "You won't march wrong if you keep your flag in sight." Now the orcs have cast down our banners, but Gondor's flag still inspires, even if I see it only in my mind's eye. So long as one Gondorian lives, the white tree still stands tall.
The flag of our people. Long may it fly.
Concern yourself more with the towers it's flying from. Ranger! Kill him! You're dead! You are...
Form.
What was that noise?
The red arrow is one of Gondor's most treasured symbols, though few know just what it symbolizes. When our need is dire, we can present the arrow to the men of Rohan, and they are bound by ancient pact to ride to our aid. We should have used it in the early days of the siege, but the orcs encircled us so quickly, and Rohan is too far away.
I've seen...
I wonder whether Rohan would honor this arrow if they saw it.
Difficult to say. Men have short memories, and shorter still in a crisis. I recognize this place. I fought here ages ago.
Seems quieter now.
The orcs are obsessed with rings, more so than coins or jewelry of equal value. They snatch them from prisoners immediately, and what happens to these rings is anyone's guess. We rarely find orcs actually wearing them.
That's my doing. Watching them try to...
A fine ring, but I gather it's an ordinary one.
Ha! Scarcely worth the same name as the ring we created.
Did you hear? The captain. That's the ring. Wait. What? It's the Ranger. Kill. ranger! Get in! What? It's the talk! Come on! Give me the
Gondor has faced the Witch King before, and he's had a vendetta against Minas Ithil ever since. This coin depicts the victor, Eomer, last king of Gondor. Generations ago, Eomer led an army that routed the Witch King and sent his army fleeing to Angmar. But our victory turned hollow when our king grew prideful. The Witch King challenged Eomer to single combat, and Eomer rode eastward from Minas Tirith, never to be seen again. It takes a nation to defeat such evil, not just one man.
He who fought the Witch King.
Twice, because he did not finish the task the first time.
Each city in Gondor administers its own justice in all but the most important cases. And in my lifetime, we've always handled legal matters in Minas Ithil. When I was a girl, I recall my father being much occupied with mercantile disputes and other legal affairs. Then the orcs came, and matters of justice yielded to matters of survival.
The gavel. Always seemed an odd symbol for justice.
What is justice, if not a hammer to beat down the proud nail?
Beacon! Catch me for sure! Right behind you, Ranger! We gotta
I asked him plainly, when you look upon my form, what do you see? A monster? A temptress? He would not answer. Look deeper, I said, for I am not the masks I wear. In this, Sauron and I were the same.
Not the masks she wears. Remember this, Talion.
wonder if the elves have mundane objects as we do, for even their common containers and vessels seem uncommonly fine. This artifact was once part of a table setting given as a gift centuries ago. The other parts were broken when one of Mordor's many ground tremors knocked them off a shelf. How I wish my predecessors had saved the broken shards. That's a puzzle I'd like to reassemble. Elven things deserve to last.
What sort of feasts do the elves have?
Stately affairs, not as raucous as orcs or men.
You are mine!
He's trying to capture me! I'm gonna cut it up!
Stinking gob!
After them! Rip out their guts!
You want me? Catch me!
Leave me alone! Hey!
No more fighting him! Kill the troll! Away from the fire! And so, two warriors meet on the battlefield to do battle upon the field of battle.
Norsko. Nothing.
When I get my hands on you,
You! I will crush the life from you and take your energy as my own. With each strike you weaken. With each strike my power grows!
Tars.
I'm frozen in place!
whatever this thing is, I'm eating it.
Eat back! Find the good Lord! He's up there!
Come on, you little snake. Keep your eyes open. Don't get ambushed. And it's one of us. Next time, Ranger. Next time I'll get you.
The last king of Gondor, Eonar, challenged the Witch King himself in the heart of Angmar. Armored for war, not ceremony, he left his crown behind when he rode to his fate. We hold it in trust for the day when a king of Gondor will return to wear it, though we need a future king with enough sense not to confront the Witch King alone.
This crown is worthy of a king.
Ah, but your people have spurned their kings, have they not?
I chose the form of a spider because I wanted to walk the web of fate, to weave its strands. The Dark Lord chose something else. He chose a shell of cold.
From the beginning, Sauron was a creature built for war.
Then it falls upon us to undo him.
It's easy to dismiss the orcs as brutish, but that demeanor masks a cunning and cruelty well suited for warfare. Their weapons likewise seem brutish, but make no mistake, they know their purpose. One sharp blow to the head will split your skull, whether it comes from Gondorian steel or orcish pig iron.
This mace is far older than what we usually find on the battlefield.
I doubt the orc who stole it knew of its heritage.
He called me his pet, and I indulged him. He praised my hunger, though he called it passion. We were as one. Now I live in darkness at the edges of his empire.
A spider always lies in wait.
But for what?
It's a bloody tar! Chase him down! Taste my blade! What? Get the ranger! From the sky!
I believe this plate is of Easterling manufacture. The ceramic and the style of decoration is a sort unknown to me or anyone I've shown it to. I know that the Easterlings from beyond the Sea of Rune have never been friends to Gondor, and their war chariots and wing wagons are fearsome indeed. But I should like to meet one up close when battle is not at hand. No matter how fierce they are, they're still men, not Uruks or other minions of the Dark Lord.
The Easterlings. Stranger even than the Haradrim of the south.
But just as vulnerable to entreaties from Sauron. Noab.
elves esteem delicate finery in all their arts, and the crystals in this artifact glow softly, even in a pitch-black room. I know this firsthand because I'd often sneak into the Great Hall and read by crystallight when everyone thought I was safely in bed.
Finest crystal found in roughest Mordor. Fascinating.
Surprised the orcs didn't smash it just to hear the sound.
Kannas is our word for bravery. And indeed, it took bravery to march on Mordor and wrest control of it from Sauron himself. When the One Ring slipped from my finger and onto Sauron's, I learned how little bravery differs from recklessness. When next I confront Sauron, I shall leave nothing to chance. Queen. Wait, I smell something. Iria.
To an orc, grog is strong drink for their bellies, but it's also medicine for their wounds, and so combustible that it may even be fuel for their war machines. Few Gondorians dare drink it, lest we start to behave like the orcs. Still, it is worth studying. Baranor has some ideas about a poison that, when mixed with grog, can disable or even kill the strongest orc.
Oof, this grog smells foul.
Ah, but to an Uruk it is ambrosia. Hard to roll.
Did you hear that?
Gondor's preferred order of battle with variations is a chart depicting how an army should be organized, from the frontline infantry to the cooks and teamsters in the rear. Whenever I study it, I'm amazed at what it takes to send an army to war. Details down to the number of cobblers and farriers for each column of soldiers. Such matters of supply seem mundane, until you're under siege, desperately fighting on quarter rations. Then, you're eager to pay attention to logistics.
The structure of Gondor's army, from general to foot soldier.
A structure the orcs will cast down the moment they set foot in Gondor.
We know who to bow Come back, man, Phil! I see the ranger! Didn't see that coming, eh? Got the card for me? I'm going to enjoy watching my feet. Thought I heard something. There he is! Take out that Canagor! How did you see the Grave Walker?
The Sea of Nirn is home to beasts we can scarcely comprehend, but from time to time, clues about their existence wash up on the shore. Our patrols found this fossilized squidbeak years ago. If it is proportional to the smaller squids that fishermen sometimes catch, the sea creature would be several 100 feet long. Such a monster is the stuff of nightmares, proof that this world hides horrors far worse than the orcs.
What a beast this must have been.
And I doubt it was the last of its kind.
You bleed! Hey! It's a caragor!
Minas Ithil never had the grand dramas and pageantry of Minas Tirith itself, but we had simple arts like music to give us the solace of home. When all around us lies in shadow, a simple folk song or pleasing dance was a ray of sunshine. I wonder if such music will ever be heard again.
You know, I'd always meant to learn the lute.
Your hands aren't meant for music, Talion. They have a more serious purpose.
Man fear! Trodden violence! Take it! I'll hit you! The Ranger's a bigger coward than any mouse.
I flew from ruin and made a home for myself in the caves. I was here before the first stone of Barad-dûr, and I will survive its fall. I've come to enjoy the darkness. My brood has grown. They extend my reach to Mirkwood and beyond. They bring me gifts, as others have. In this way, I will remain Shelob, become the last of my kind.
She wishes an empire of her own.
I sense she has had her fill of empire building.
By reading the history and peoples of Gondor, every child receives countless lessons in our realm's history, our kings and heroes, our battles and triumphs. Doubly so for those of us who grew up on Gondor's frontiers. The teachers meant well. They were trying to inspire us. But all the tales of Gondor remind us how exposed we were to the threat of Mordor.
He's above us!
Gondor's history. Triumph in one chapter, despair in the next.
Concern yourself with the chapter yet unwritten. Zune.
Look! He's on that right! You! You know why he's not saying anything? Because you aren't worth the breath.
Aphodad, the virtue of obedience. Then, as now, raising an army in Mordor meant overwhelming the orcs with a display of power. That power was the One Ring. In Mordor, the orcs obey power, nothing more. Dwarves and men do likewise, even if they tell themselves it's a matter of honor, vengeance.
Oh, how they love the darkness.
Soon they will drown in my light. Carl.
This artifact, a chunk of moonstone, was our last acquisition before the orcs came. A scout found it still smoldering out in the fields where it fell to earth from the moon overhead. I am far from superstitious, but even I wonder whether this bit of fallen moonstone was meant to serve as an ill omen for the disaster that followed.
An ill omen from the skies.
Minas Ithil was doomed long before this moonstone fell to earth.
Stop this! Stop it!
Pointy rock things. Did you hear that? I see the ranger. Don't square me! Him again!
Some orcs are self-styled marauders who crave riches more than other orcs. Greed, not bloodlust, motivates them, and unlike most other orcs, they wear jewelry such as this ring to mark their status. We obtained this ring from a dead marauder, so we've no idea of its history, though it seems Numenorian. If only we knew where the marauders find treasures like this ring. There's so much we could learn.
The Ring of Numenor.
And a well-crafted one, by the standards of men.